I'm Divya, Executive Editor at IndiaIT360, and welcome to another episode of the Tech Tea Podcast. Today, I'm glad to have Mr. Yogesh Kumar Sharma, Chief Information Security Officer at Jindal Stainless, with us. We'll be talking about cybersecurity challenges in modern manufacturing, for ransomware threats to supply chain risk, and how new tools like AI can help. Together, we'll look at how industries like steel and metals can stay safe without slowing down their work. So let's get started. Before we move ahead, thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. And how are you?
Thank you, Divya. Good morning. It's been a pleasure, to be on this, discussion. Yeah.
Yeah, sir. So before we start, to begin with, we would love to hear about your professional journey. What key experiences have defined your path so far?
Yeah, so Divya, I have over 19 years of experience in IT industry, but many people don't know that I started my career post my BTech as a call center executive with the Tata Sky way back in 2006. So since then, it has been a continuous learning journey where a lot of learning and implementing what I have been learning throughout the years. Then later on I moved into programming very soon, and subsequently into the cybersecurity domain probably in around 2009 or 2010. And since then I am into cybersecurity domain. I was with the Tata Group, I was with the TCS, and had the opportunity to work on various roles in cybersecurity, including pre-sales, delivery, right, sales, have working with analyst firms like Gartner, Forresters, Everest, OM, HFS, etc. I had the privilege to work overseas also. Throughout my journey I have worked in US, Latin America, Africa, right. Have set up cyber command centers. I was part of the initial team who initiated HackQuest contest, which TCS runs every year to to identify talented security people directly from the colleges and university. So I was part of that initial team who did that for TCS. And subsequently in I think post COVID, got the opportunity into the CISO role. I started with the Tata Chemicals, and then my journey in security been around people, processes, technology, looking security at a very larger level, holistically. And now today contributing my experience and learning with Jindal Stainless Limited.
That that's quite inspiring. It really shows how every step in your journey shaped your role today. How do you see the current cybersecurity landscape and manufacturing sector, especially for heavy industries like steel and metals?
Yeah, so Divya, the manufacturing industry today, specifically in India, it is going through a big transformation journey, right? In the past, the factory systems were isolated. No one could, hack, a steel furnace, right, over the internet. But now today, with the this industry 4.0 and IT OT integration, the attack surface has increased, right? The machines, the networks, the supply chain, they're all talking to each other. And another challenge is the legacy systems which the manufacturing industries they carry, right? You cannot patch them immediately. You can't take them offline because that will impact your overall, the production, stuff, right? Because downtime or disruptions, right? They're not very common like what happens in IT, right? Because the machines need to keep running, all the time in manufacturing plant. But having said that, the good news is that the mindset is now changing because manufacturing industries are, a lot of digitization work is happening. So of course, the leaders are also seeing the threats. The mindset is changing, and instead of just reacting to the attacks, I think the organizations are now focusing on building the resilience capabilities, right? This means that preparing a robust incident response plans, or conducting regular recovery drills, right? Artificial intelligence driven threat monitoring, and most importantly, moving towards adopting a zero trust security models, right, where every time you need to verify and then trust or give the accesses. So that will help prevent lateral movements, which is a major issue when we talk about ransomware and stuff. So today, cybersecurity has moved just beyond the IT hygiene. Now it is a boardroom priority. It is a business enabler thing, right? It's not just IT, and it is very very essential for the organization or manufacturing industries business continuity, safety, and trust, of course.
Okay, interesting. It seems like sector is evolving quickly but also facing a fair share of hurdles. So ransomware attacks on manufacturing plants have increased globally. How prepared is the industry to respond to such targeted attacks?
So, of course, preparedness is getting better, but I would say the progress is uneven, right? Large manufacturers, they are already running security operation centers, they are doing tabletop exercises or drills, they are running disaster recovery plans. But smaller plants, smaller industries, especially those which has older, or legacy OT systems, they're still struggling with the basic things like patching or real-time monitoring of the threats at a network level. What is encouraging today is that the mindset is shifting. The shift in mindset, I would say. So instead of thinking that we must block every threat or every attack, the leadership is also asking, whether are we aware of the risk? If yes, if something happens, then how quickly we can recover. So it's all about resilience. That is what true resilience means, right? And if you ask whether the industries are 100% ready, in my opinion, not yet. But I think the maturity, curve is moving in the right direction. Focus today is on minimizing the impact and impact of the any incident or attack, and ensuring the business continuity, right? Even if any cyber threat is there. So that's my opinion on that.
That's great. You have explained really well with proper examples. So, moving ahead, what strategies do you believe are most effective for protecting mission critical manufacturing processes without disrupting operations?
Um, so strategy is straightforward, right? You need to first focus on the basics. You just need to secure the basics, right? A strong, systems configuration, network segmentation, of course, and strict controls for remote access. These three are, very foundational security requirements when we talk about any manufacturing plant. Second is you need to build the resilience, right? How quickly you are able to recover if something goes wrong. So fast detection of the attacks, right? Capability in digital forensics and incident response. If you do not have your own team, probably there are a lot of good MSME players in the market who provide DFIR services, right? So that can be taken definitely. Cyber insurance, of course, it is very very important, but it depends, the insurance agencies, the level of security you have already put in place. Accordingly you can get benefit in your insurance coverages. Backups are also very very critical, right? Typically there is a 3 to 1 policy, right? So that one is very very important, right? Out of 3 to 1, that is offline backup, right? Everything you put online today, we are seeing that the attackers, they attack and they delete the data also, the backups also. Reason is because everything you have put online, so you need at least for your critical systems, which can help keep your business running, that data needs to be at least somewhere kept offline. If something goes wrong, you can recover it, right? The recovery time objective, recovery point objective, or maximum tolerable downtime, how much the organization can bear, the data loss or the downtime. All those things need to be defined, and you need to keep testing. So business impact is very very clear. You'll have less downtime, safer operations, and of course, the greater customer trust.
Okay, so supply chain attacks are becoming a major concern. How can manufacturers ensure their ecosystem partners and vendors follow the same cybersecurity standards?
Yeah, so Divya, this is very, very critical because today we are seeing a lot of attacks, are happening through this supply chain weakness in supply chain security, I would say. So your security is only as strong as your, the weakest vendor. Manufacturing industries, they work with so many vendors from small, medium to large enterprises, right? Your contractors, suppliers, system integrators. Now, what you need to focus on two things: appropriate governance and right collaboration. Right? You need to define clear security requirements in the contracts and agreements with the vendor. You need to conduct a risk assessment of your, vendors. You need to do audits also sometimes, and you need to ensure that your partners and vendors, they are also complying with industry standards like ISO 27001, and they are also following reasonable security practices. That is one. Second, when we talk about collaboration, suppliers or the small vendors, they need to improve their security, and we need to help them, right? We can't just because when you talk about small vendors, right, it's all about the revenue or the the amount of money they are making. So somewhere I think large organization like us should also come forward and help them so that they can also become secure, and overall security we can also achieve. So at the end of the day, it is all about supply chain security is all about trust, right? And this trust directly impacts on time, the delivery, the customer confidence, and of course, last but not the least, the brand reputation.
Looking ahead, what innovations or technologies like AI driven threat detection do you see shaping the future of manufacturing cybersecurity?
Yes, of course, the future is about the smarter and less intrusive security, right? AI-driven detection is already in place and spotting a lot of anomalies, which typically humans would miss, right? Digital twins, which is like a virtual replica of your OT systems. That is something which large manufacturing organizations are adopting. So this digital twin will will let you simulate the attack safely before it can hit the real plant, right? And zero trust definitely will extend deep into factories, right? Where every device, user, and connection is continuously verified first and then trusted. Another point is blockchain and software bill of material, right? These two are very, very important when we talk about securing the supply chain end to, right? And automation in the response will definitely cut down your downtime from days to probably hours or minutes, right? So these are not just technology trends, right? The digital twin, your supply chain or blockchain or software bill of material, they're actually directly the improving the uptime, safety, and competitiveness in the manufacturing industry.
That sounds exciting. Technology really seems to be stepping up as both as a challenge and a solution. Last but not the least, if you had to give manufacturers just one golden rule for cybersecurity that they must never ignore, what would it be?
Golden rule is simple. It's the basic rule of cybersecurity, right? Without leadership commitment, there is no real cybersecurity. That's the bottom line, I would say, right? Because CISO or the security team or IT team, they work with a lot of tools, vendors, solution. All that is good and achievable, but I think leadership commitment is something which plays a major role. Without that, you can't achieve anything. So just like safety drills in plants, right? Cybersecurity only works, when leaders they own it, right? The plant, the unit head or plant's head of the departments, they are the one who need to own it, take it seriously. Tools, firewalls, and policies are all important, but they are not going to stop accidents or attacks, right? Real security will only come when the plant heads, the managers, or the business leader, they embed cyber risk into everyday decision making. So that's the golden rule, leadership commitment, which actually ties everything together.
That's nice. That's all for today's episode of the Tech Tea podcast. A big thank you to Mr. Yogesh Kumar Sharma for sharing such useful insights on how
Thank you.
manufacturing can deal with today's cybersecurity challenges. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Don't forget to follow the Tech Tea podcast for more simple, straight to the forward point talks with the tech leaders. I'm Divya Giri, and I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay safe and keep sipping your tech tea.